to this maiden press conference of Arise Ghana, a coalition of patriotic, conscientious, and concerned Ghanaians drawn from various political parties, including the People's National Convention, PNC, the Convention People's Party, CPP, the Ghanaian Union Movement, GUM, the Great Consolidated Popular Party, GCPP, the All People's Congress, APC, the New Patriotic Party, NPP, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, and various civil society organizations, the media, the creative arts industry, driver unions, traders, and citizens from all walks of life. Distinguished friends from the media, Arise Ghana is an amalgamation of activists through advocacy and nationalistic mobilization will seek to lead a crusade against continuous misrule, mismanagement, and maladministration of our dear nation, Ghana. We are determined to relentlessly champion the common cause of the Ghanaian people, provide a voice for the voiceless, and vigorously seek reforms that will bring about the needed change in the socio-economic and political, social, general well-being of the Ghanaian citizenry. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a point in our nation's history where to remain silent is not an option. This is because to be silent is to encourage a continuous triumph of evil. To remain quiet over the present state of affairs is to encourage the continuous slide of our country into the abyss. Choosing not to speak about the current state of affairs means being complicit in the ongoing capture and sacrifice of our collective future on the altar of instant gratification. We obviously cannot afford the option of remaining silent. Economic hardship. Arise. 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 Friends from the media, there are hardly enough words to describe the harsh economic realities of Ghanaians today. The fuel prices keep rising at the pumps every day, with its concomitant effect on transport fares, prices of food and general goods and services in the country. The price of fuel in Ghana today remains one of the highest in Africa. As a result of this, the distance between Kwame Nkrumah Circle and Kaneshie cost the ordinary man in Trotro a 3 Ghana cedis as we speak. Today, the distance from Medina to Kasua requires a transport fare of 12 Ghana cedis, even in public transport. In fact, one requires a whopping 200 Ghana cedis to travel from Accra to Tamale, a distance that used to cost the commuter 100 Ghana cedis in the year 2019. Inflation rate continues to gallop at an alarming rate and stands today at 23.6%, the highest in 18 years, thereby spurring weekly hikes in price of foodstuffs. A recent survey by the Metro TV, which was published on Sunday, 22nd May 2022, revealed that an alonka of maize, which was sold for 12 Ghana cedis only last week, now sells for 15 Ghana cedis. Arise. Arise. While a sack of maize, which was sold for 450 only last week, now sells for 650 Ghana cedis. Arise. Arise. In similar vein, a sack of yam, which was selling at 350 Ghana cedis last week, is now selling for 450 Ghana cedis this week. Arise. Arise. While a box of tomatoes hitherto was sold at 1,000 Ghana cedis last week, is this week going for 1,200 Ghana cedis. Arise. From this market survey, which was done over a period of just 1 week, it is clear that the cost of living in Ghana today is at an all-time high, with governments much touted planting for food and jobs program remain monumental failure. Coupled with ever-increasing cost of agricultural inputs and mechanization services, threat of food insecurity looms ever larger in us than before. Arise. Arise. In fact, the purchasing power of the ordinary Ghanaian has fast deteriorated due to the unbearable cost of living, thereby inflicting untold hardship on the Ghanaians. Things are continually getting worse by the day, with no end in sight. Ladies and gentlemen, worsening economic conditions. Arise. Arise. Distinguished friends from the media, the economy continues to wallow in doldrums, with all economic indicators nosediving, while government looks on helplessly. The cedi's free fall continues unabated as a result of the failure of government to translate its rhetoric into action. Today, the cedi trades at about 8 cedis 50 pesos to the US dollar. The continuous depreciation of our national currency against its major trading partners continue to wash away the profit margins, in most cases the capital of businesses and traders who depend on forex exchange in forex exchange to import vital goods into the country. This situation has further aggravated the alarming rate of inflation the nation is presently experiencing. Arise. Arise. Even more worrying is the alarming rate of joblessness, arise, and hopelessness in the country. It is a pity, especially among the youth today. Today, the rate of unemployment has risen to an all-time high, having moved from 6% in the year 2016 to a staggering 13.5% as at 2021. Indeed, our dear nation is presently in a deep economic mess. The country has lost access to the international capital market due to our unsustainable debt position. Our public debt has increased to unprecedented and unsustainable levels from 120 billion Ghana cedis to over 391.9 billion Ghana cedis only in the last 5.5 years. Arise! This means that at a minimum, this government alone has since 2017 has added a whopping 271.9 billion to the national debt stock. It is a pity. Arise. With a chunk of this ongoing in consumption, debt to GDP ratio has galloped from 56% in 2016 to about 80% as we speak now. Arise, Ghana. While our debt service burden has moved from about 14 billion cedis at December 2016 to a whopping 50 billion Ghana cedis. This economic situation, which is our worst performance in history of this Fourth Republic, has worsened our credit worthiness and dampened investors' confidence in our economy, leading to our worst and ever downgrades by reputable sovereign credit rating agencies such as Moody and Fitch. Simply put, our beloved Ghana is broke. And this is a direct product of the bad leadership. Arise. Arise. Insensitivity, misplaced priorities, and gross economic mismanagement of the present Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration. Draconian taxes. Arise. Arise. While wages of Ghanaian workers remain static, with almost all labor unions up in arms over poor wages in the wake of worsening economic hardship, the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government continues to impose killer and draconian taxes on the already overburdened taxpayer. The recent passage of the obnoxious e-levy has its subsequent implementation remains yet another slap in the face of Ghanaian people. Never in the history of our country has a government behaved so obstinately in imposing a draconian tax measure on its citizens, despite loud public cry. Government's subsequent use of judicial shenanigans in an attempt to defend the illegal imposition of e-levy remains yet another clear demonstration of how desperate and callous they are. Introduce the fraudulent advice. Distinguished friends from the media, one of the crucial yet regrettable legacy of President Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Bawumia remains unprecedented. Levels of state capture we are witnessing today. The practice of state capture under this government has assumed such alarming proportions that the God-given resources of this country that are supposed to benefit present and future generations are being hijacked by only a few greedy family, friends, cronies in government today. It initially gladdened our hearts that the Ghanaian people spoke in unison against this organized heist called Ejapa and forced government to suspend same. We are, however, mortified to note that despite the public outcry over this deal, the MPP Akufo-Addo government is headstrong and seeking to reintroduce the Ejapa deal as recently announced by the finance minister. We wish to serve a notice that this latest attempt to reintroduce the criminal Ejapa mineral royalty deal shall be defeated. Arise. 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 As we shall resist same with everything within us. Grabbing of Achimota Forest Reserve lands. Arise. Grabbing of Achimota Forest Reserve lands. Arise. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we dare say that to you, like many Ghanaians, were surprised by recent reports of a certain EI 144, which seeks to classify portions of the Achimota Forest as no longer a forest reserve. Well, as the saying goes, coming events cast down shadows. Coming events cast down their shadows. And indeed, recent events have now given out the real motive and intent of the incompetent Akufo-Addo Bawumia government relative to this matter of the Achimota Forest Reserve. As we know now, President Akufo-Addo and his land grabbers in government were only hiding behind a certain historical claim by one Owu family to appropriate the Achimota Forest Reserve, a nature conservation of huge environmental importance to all of us among themselves. Arise. Arise. It has now emerged through some leaked portions of a will of the late Kojo Owusu Efriye, aka Sir John, a former CEO of the Forestry Commission, that elements within the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government have already shared lands in the Achimota Forest Reserve among themselves. Arise. Indeed, portions of the land contained in the leaked will document making rounds. This is a tragedy of national proportions, and we condemn it in no uncertain terms. To imagine that the Achimota Forest, one of the few surviving nature reserves in Ghana, would become another subject of state capture of President Akufo-Addo and his cabal of buccaneers in government breaks our hearts greatly. Arise. Friends from the media, portions of the late Kojo Owusu Efriye's will reveal several prime lands, including those at the Achimota Reserve Forest and Sakumono Ramsar site, that the late CEO of the Forest Commission acquired within a very short stint in government, which he intended willed to his relatives prior to his death. These revelations are but microcosm of a scale and magnitude of grabbing and plundering of state lands, other resources by President Akufo-Addo and functionaries in his government in a manner akin to the conduct of pirates on the high sea. Arise. Corruption and abuse of the public purse. Arise. Distinguished friends from the media, corruption remains endemic and pervasive under President Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Bawumia, who have turned themselves into the greatest enablers and promoters of same. Despite being the most resource government in Ghana's history, this government has wasted all unprecedented revenues that have accrued to them, totaling about 500 billion Ghana cedis, mainly through profligacy and corruption. Arise. Hands are soiled by this shameless grabbing of Achimota forest lands should be named, shamed and stolen lands retrieved by the state. Corruption and abuse of the public purse. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, corruption remains an endemic and pervasive under President Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Bawumia, who have turned themselves into the greatest enablers and promoters of same. Despite being the most resource government in Ghana's history, this government has wasted all unprecedented revenues that have accrued them, totaling 500 billion, mainly through profligacy and corruption. At the risk of sounding monotonous, it bears reminding that corruption scandal, such as the Bust scandal, involving the illegal sale of 5 million liters of contaminated fuel to dubious entities, the Australian visa fraud scandal, the Galamsey fraud scandal, the PPA contracts for scale scandal, and the PDS scandal, and the missing excavators scandal, and the most recent Sputnik V scandal remain unresolved instances of daylight heist that President Akufo-Addo has either turned a blind eye or to whitewash the perpetrators. Arise. All attempts to depend accountability for the use of COVID-19 funds continues to be suppressed by the incompetent President Akufo-Addo, who has effectively doused the flame of accountability. There is a little wonder, therefore, that corruption is at all time high under the current regime of leadership. Even more bizarre is the fact that a time when majority of Ghanaians are suffering and experiencing excruciating hardship, President Akufo-Addo continues to travel in ultra-luxurious and hyper-expensive private jets at high expensive to the already impoverished Ghanaian taxpayer just to satisfy his creature comforts. Arise. Arise. Conclusion. Distinguished friends from the media, our dear nation is on the verge of becoming a failed state. The center can no longer hold. Things are falling apart. It goes without saying that the current state of affairs calls for an action. Arise. Every well-meaning Ghanaian is therefore duty-bound not only to speak against the ills of today, but also to act now in order to save the soul of our nation. Arise. This is why we, the Arise Ghana, are saying to all conscientious Ghanaians to arise and save Ghana now. Demands. After all is said and done, more must be done than said. Demands. Arise.
Save Ghana now.
We demand an immediate withdrawal of the EI 144 and an end to the land grabbing of the Achimota Forest Reserve lands. Caution is hereby served to President Akufo-Addo and his land grabbers to stay their hands off the Achimota Forest Reserve lands. We urge Parliament, who are the representatives of the people, to institute a bipartisan probe into the matter relating to the sale of lands in the Achimota Forest immediately. This probe should be transparent, and all persons, be they past or present government officials, civil or public servants, and all hands that are swelled by this shameless grabbing of Achimota Forest lands should be named, shamed, and the stolen lands retrieved for the state. Arise. 2. We demand an immediate and total cancellation of the fraudulent Ajapa royalties deal, as same is not in national interest. We will never sit aloof and allow a few selfish and greedy thieves in government to appropriate our mineral royalties for themselves and their families. 3. Also, we demand an immediate reduction in fuel prices. Arise. Also, we demand an immediate reduction in fuel prices through the scrapping of crippling fuel taxes, such as the sanitation levy, boiler tax of 10%, 10 pesos on every liter of diesel and petrol. We believe that this, if done, would provide some respite to suffering drivers and Ghanaians as a whole. Arise. 4. Additionally, we demand an immediate repeal of the obnoxious E-Levy Act, which is nothing but naked thievery of the major resources of the citizenry by the wicked Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. In the light of the foregoing demands, Arise Ghana shall hold a public forum in the upcoming days to further expatiate on these important matters of considerable public interest. Arise.
Save Ghana.
More importantly, we wish to announce for the information of all Ghanaians that we shall be embarking on a mammoth demonstration on the 21st of June 2022 in the city of Accra to press home these demands. We therefore call on all Ghanaians who desire to see a change in the affairs of our beloved country to come out in their numbers and join us on the streets of Accra for this historic protest. Arise. This will be the first of a series of protests action we shall relentlessly be holding across the length and breadth of the country, with the aim of bringing sufficient pressure to bear on the insensitive, corrupt, and incompetent Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration to act in the best of the interest of Ghanaians. Arise.
Save Ghana now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana needs to be safe now. I repeat again, Ghana needs to be saved now. And this must be done by you and I. We have enough of hardship. We have had enough hardship. Government keeps inflicting on us. Enough of broken promises. Enough of naked thievery of state resources. Enough of arrogance of power. Enough of the state capture. Enough of the culture of impunity. We all have a role to play in the struggle to save the soul of our beloved country, Ghana. Arise.
Save Ghana now.
The time to act is now. The time to act is now. Arise.
Save Ghana now.
May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong through your collective efforts. Thank you for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. Arise.
Arise! 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 Hey! Ghana! 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 Ose! Yeah! Ghana! Ose! Yeah! Ghana! Yeah! Ghana! Yeah! Thank you very much for those of you who are watching us on TV. We're live on Waysor TV. We're live on Joy News on a multi-TV channel. We're also live on GH1 TV. We're also live on Asempa 94.7. We're live on Power 97.9. We're live on TV XYZ. We're live on a Hotel 92.3 FM. We're live on Radio Gold 90.5 FM. Round of applause for our speaker. Round of applause. We're moving on, and I just can't wait for the next batch of speakers. They're coming with fire. And when I say fire, I'm talking about the fire that resonates with everyone in this country. Arise! Arise! But before that, let me acknowledge certain key dignitaries that have joined us. They are our political friends as well. It's good to have them also solidarize with us and join us in this fight. It's a Ghana project. So without much ado, I acknowledge the National Youth Organizer of the NDC, Mr. George Opariado, also known as Pablo. And also he's a political activist. We've known him for some time now. He's also a member of Rise Ghana. Bernard Mona, please a round of applause for him as well. Dr. Louisa Hadabisu is the National Women's Organizer of the National Democratic Congress. Please, a round of applause for her. Mr. Elvis Afriye Ankra is a former Minister of State. He's also the Director of Elections for the National Democratic Congress. Please, a round of applause for him. And also a Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NDC, Edem Agbana, is also here with us. A round of applause. Also with us is the National Organizer of the NDC, Comrade Joshua Akamba. Round of applause for him. It's a line of friends that I need to acknowledge. Raymond Edem Tamaklo is also the convener for Concerned Students. Round of applause for him. Richmond Akpa is also here with us. Joshua Akamba, I've already mentioned him. And of course, Abu Sadiq is also with the creative arts industry. Round of applause for them. Without much ado, as I said a while ago, the next batch of speakers are coming with fire. You've seen a number of items here. You would understand and appreciate why they are here. So, a round of applause. It is a humbling experience to also welcome the Executive Director for COPEC Ghana, Duncan Amwa.
Arise! 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 Choboy! We are tired. We are tired. We've spoken about petrol. It was 3 cedi and something. We said the previous government was bad. In fact, I led the insult. I insulted some 3 cedis, 3 cedi 60 per liter. We insulted all we could. If you go online now, there were times we were insulting the former government directly. We didn't run away. 3 cedis. What is it today? From independence all the way to the end of 2016, it was still around 3 cedi something something. It was less than 4 cedis. You add 5 years, take it out of the total independence era. You've moved from the 3 something something and the diesel is getting to 12 Ghana cedis. In fact, a lot of them are simply failing to quote 12 cedis a liter. Petrol no mutimito. Yabre. And we've said this, the drivers have said it. The TUC, the mother body for all workers in Ghana, were bold enough to remind our president at the just ended May Day celebration that petroleum prices have become a burden not only on our pockets but on our families and generations unborn. It was disappointing. The response that came from the president immediately was that Otiswa, we will lose 4 billion. What is 4 billion when the country is itself going to lose over 40 billion at the end of the accounting year? And we have reminded the government that it is not only the trotro driver like my brothers here who are suffering. The state Ghana will pay for high cost of fuel at the end of the accounting year. If you are a contractor who was buying petrol last year for 5 cedi 70, less than 6 cedis. You wake up today, it's 12 cedis. Would you do the same contract for the same value last year? And who is paying for the contract? The government and people of Ghana. So all government contracts will double. The value of all amenities, the hospitals we want to build, whether we will build or we don't, it will go up. Any road construction would go up. Any service that government will provide will double, simply because the cost of moving these products across the country has also gone up. Unfortunately, the excuses keep coming in. Yabre, we are tired. At 3 cedi something, we called a former government incompetent. Less than 4 cedi. Today it has tripled, 12 cedis. I don't know what they would want us to call them. We don't want to call them names, but if they have any modicum of sensitivity, Ghanaians are tired. Yabre, yabre. In fact, yabre. You look at my friends from the driver unions here. 4 a.m. they start their cars. 5 cedi, 2 cedi, 5 cedi, 2 cedi. You will finish, go to the pump, fill me tank, mame. 700, 1,000 Ghana. For someone collecting 5 cedi, 10 cedi, 2 cedi, at the end of the day, he has to buy petrol, 1,000 Ghana cedis. Those who are defending, maybe it serves their purposes. But if their family members could tell them the hardship we are all going through, maybe they will come back to their senses. Yabre. Again, let me refute that assertion that it is Russia, Ukraine that has brought fuel prices to where it is. It's not true. Russia attacked Ukraine in February. In December, the drivers were threatening an industrial action. They packed their vehicles. If I'm wrong, you can correct me.
It was 6th December.
6th December. Where was Russia? Where was Ukraine? Yabre. And when you talk, the finance minister, I don't know. But these are things that we will continue to drum home. And we want to pledge with Arise Ghana that any mass action that will be embarked upon, together with our families, friends, the drivers, everybody, we will join. Yabre. If Orak and Oforiata gets to hear anything, the consumers of Ghanaian petroleum products are saying we cannot continue to pay for stabilization and recovery. You are not stabilizing anything. The money is being chopped. We cannot continue to pay for special petroleum tax. There is nothing special about the prices at the pumps. What are we paying for? We cannot continue to pay for sanitation and pollution. It rains just one day in Ghana. Look at the amount of filth. Yet when you buy petrol, they tell you to pay for sanitation. We cannot continue to pay for energy sector levy in the name of using that money to pay for capacity charges. When in clearer terms, as an energy mind, I know that at peak demand, we would even need to add installed capacity in order to go around. So the deception is overboard. Yabre. If you were deceiving us at 4 cedis, 5 cedis, today is 12 cedis. Please, Mr. President, Mr. Finance Minister, yabre, that is what we are saying here at Arise Ghana. We will join you in all your activities. We will join you in anything that brings relief to Ghanaians because yaka yabre. Thank you very much.
Yo, yadamwase. The Duncan can be nyina no. If I yen draw for home. And inti ena yejina ha ye ba be pem wa ka kire mu bibi ko so sesia se yen adrafo yanka ama obia ante a ebe ye den and inti obia nsom no mboa me se Ghana adrafo ye nyina yen sorry de nti a ye tie mu ewia we se ye nyina yen sorry no e ya de mienu pe sesia trend bi ko so me twe mu nyina mo adua ko so especially media fo am wo ha mo nkwa aboso kan sesia driving juma no enye fuel nko a ene ye de spare parts na ye ukọ abuso kan sisi ya cars a ye de juma pa wo Ghana 3 brand pe eno na obehunu bebre Toyota a ya to ni din Toyota Fish ena Sprinter bus ansa na obehu your friend say Kia Picanto ana Toyota Vitsmo ansa na obehu omo but ukọ abuso kan sisi a na se okọ akoto Sprinter engine a eho akwatwe akoye say calculate time ni bio open Sprinter engine a je say okosi obi so no waka kire say twen 3 days time obenya engine inti media fo am wo ha ene wie ya amutie mon sorry mon boa yen adrafo na yen kwa buso kan yen ko bisa bebi asa pass ni nyina akogu engine oil a ye de sisa oil nanu ya na ye tono 100 cedis ene amene wo ka say 135 cedis enti sani amani nyina yan sore waka anka ho asema daache e de asembe breyen Duncan Eka no ono okotu no en omo terms yen adrafo yen obi anim say 1 gallon en omo frɛ yen emre bi twemu na ye to fuel 1 gallon 14 cedis 30 pesos be yen bi mu ene nyankopon fa ye bɔ ne nkyɛ yen ye sore tia o mampanyi o twemu say omboa yen adrafo ema ye koya de ne court ene 1 gallon 51 cedis 1 gallon 51 cedis ewo emretiawa we am 5 years pe be emra na ye ka no from 1957 ebeka 2016 and ye turn 14 cedis 30 pesos from 2016 what the emphasis say from 2015 impo ebeka ene 2022 ye turn 51 Ghana cedis any pesos bebrebe eguso
gallon ketwa we
enti ye ka kire Ghana drivers fo nyina say ya bre ye ho kire yen e wo de ye nyina mu enti say arise Ghana sorry a yen driver fo ye beta omo echi na ye nyina ya kon agi Ghana esi ho because emre we do say yen as Ghanaians ye sorry na ye je Ghana edisi ho efri amamoyefo bi nsem medamase
Afei yentu yensa, let's invite our brother Bobie Ansa of Accra FM. Round of applause.
Right. But when you're betting it to Nayako, we are here for a reason. We are not here to campaign. Campaign time in the Beba. But the reason why Yewaha is so simple. Said the ordinary Ghanaian onam ekrum ebenya hoto. Yanunti na Yewaha. And always say ya media for you or move free. But within the media fraternity, we have an obligation. We shape the minds of the country. Yanya shape amount for thinking on the street. We determine how the conversation goes. So when media personnel or practitioners talk about media Kebia, I look at them and I laugh at them. And it gives me an impression that we are living under the umbrella of ignorance. We are media practitioners, but we should start to talk. Dakronwa obi ton wa kwanso 5 cedis no mesumi tobi. Amunwa enana obi kwato ya na eye 40 Ghana cedis per 5 kilo or whatever. Then adia be so be na 75 no mesumi tobi. And let me tell you, media practitioners, especially on more radio stations, on your pool. If you 200 Ghana, 250, 300 Ghana, 400 Ghana, they turn back and come and tell us we are corrupt. What do you expect from me? How much do you pay me? A bit to be 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, they don't pay them. The media houses are there. Those handling the cameras, they know. Some are hungry, they are here. They know it. And when you are hungry and we are telling you that you need to arise and talk, then you tell me more your politics. What is politics? You are hungry. We are calling on you to talk. And you are telling me, say, yeah, politics. Or which be far from Kokai news. Is it fair? The 400 won't even survive on that 400 cities. And you see, let me tell you. Maybe but forgive me if I'm not able to get the name right. And a popular quote, we talk about it from Martin Niemöller. I hope I'm right. The German priest with the Protestant church. And I quote it here. First they came for the socialists. And I did not speak out. Do you know why? I don't care. And as we sit here, the next thing the bank of 4 minutes say, oh, say ya na when you position on Baba Baye. But the fact of the matter is that we look at the margin. I don't believe the NDC angelic party. But you see, we do compare and we contrast. So the point is, let's look at the margins. From 2008 or 2009, na me todo kono say, ebepem 2016 na say, and 2017 to 2022, yet also say, let's look at the percentage and the margins and start talking. That is the most important thing. Where you answer? Nyansa, when you look at the percentage, you work around it. How much na we aje? How much na we suaje? Boss say na we abo. Where su abo say? No, now can we discuss about pandemics and all those things? Yes, we can. Then the question is, me pacho corona, COVID, echibanche. COVID, echibodie. COVID, assassin waka chire me say, ye dia assassin COVID achinuntino entimi amo. Simply because obia mismanage your PF Jessica, obia di. Somebody has stolen it. 2020, 1 billion. We invested in agriculture. We can't buy food on the street. Ghana for any brief war. Oh, here die or cantonment. On when you're sick at all, die will abon. Oh, here. The person just want to eat. Oh, did you know me? Or you're okay. And that's the reason why we are calling upon the media. Don't sit in your studios and tell me, say, won't come home. When they are coming for the socialists, you need to be part and talk about it. Also because then they came to the trade unionists. Then they decided to keep quiet. I'm not part of Bobienum. I'm not part of the PNC. I'm not part of the CPP. I'm not part of blah, blah, blah. You sitting there, take your fat envelopes. The day of judgment will come. And let me say this and say it again. The only time leadership is afraid of terrorists is when they are mismanaging the country. Then they use it as a fear tool to suppress the people. Say ekwam eden krofwa obi be manisika obeje. We have Desmond Tutunum joining. Bobiansa, I'm a media practitioner, me an activist also, and I'm joining Arise. Arise! Thank you.
Arise! Okay, Afe, let's call down the National Youth Organizer for the Conventions People's Party, Nana Kofi. A round of applause.
Choboy. Choboy. Asa na meka sano me pese me frame me nuanom youth organizers bi no be kama ho. Me nia GCPP youth organizer, PS youth organizer. Opayado, patobra. NDC na say youth organizer be join. Mo man wu hiao, Ghana man yawara odia. Mo man wu hiao, enkase won fa ho. Mo maye nyina nsom. Ya for kroya na okroya and the bama Ghana. Ediye. Chobai! Chobai! I'm say ene eye sonkoda yina yenim. Na adekronti ane say ye mabuna ye amanyosem. Na ye adwen say ye pese ye de Ghana si wo. Na the alternative mama obi anya mistake say because MPP ne na adron kwa kufa do tusunti no omo kwa na nim nyansa dabi ye onko forward a omo twan CPP are ready your alternatives and your better alternatives PNC alternatives DCPP alternatives and this is what alternatives but lucky for them omo na Ghana for say omukuta akonya no enu nti ye kan omo say ye gina kire ho we are ready to take over na enye ebo wei ana omo say ye in 2016 no mukuta krata bi omo so fe manifesto edi another krata no say ye change agenda for jobs mo sesem omo mo na bon omo na madwuma no ye be ma madwuma 2022 State of the Nation address omampanyin se eye ne ya na onim se Ghana fo nyina no eye atete omampanyin nye atete ye boafu mebura wa Ghana ha ye boafu because 6 years down the line ejuma da so ni honom ena ye tua ball attacks eso ensuo pa na eyira boy dem na ed ball abeye wo se menka manuntum sanda we obi a udi dwa ekotamale na okofa bayire beton na se unkuta 200 Ghana cedis a wo de traka mo afri nkran e de akotamale a untimi nkotamale eti uhia 200 Ghana cedis kasika ansa na kodu tamale to bayire a eno so wasa tena ka mu 200 Ghana cedis esa de abankran mbebusamo mani jo wana mini anu for guys manage one enunti ana yesi arise mante arise mentie arise babunu a ena ote ho a wosem wo TV so wa wotem wo radio sadie bobi asaka ye no man kasa ose kofi ani CPP for ana operado any NDC for ana sa Judbama any GCP before ana sa Mark any the PS for yadewo e ka wo bi efise trotro ufu bi and the full abo etisen and now sa wo car na sa wutu a ujira ho no wasan ujira ho no wasan na dia ya kra say first man count me to car na ja obi kan kokonkon momo ibi na ka dia momo no susu a yesi bibi di 11 eti wa untimi nkokrom wo susu a momo na wo suma no susu a utua na wusu na na kofo ado de be pa na opese wode e de be pa na yenye eti be adu ni de ye nyina ye de ho jim na ka che Ghana maburu nyina sai amon sorry Ghana for amon sorry na ye nyina ye ngi Ghana emfasi wo 21st June we mo beti yenka ba bi be fra mu bia momra ade ba ko a esere wo mamu a aye bufusam ne say o kan bibia so nya to wase so won say Russia and Ukraine for ko bam cho wo mi de minim tomatoes we me ba cho ko be na won Russia and Ukraine border no so a ntokara kan ntia tomatoes ba ko fo doctor na bisu mafuo e wo dema menim se dema ye dua tomatoes wo menim se akomadan ye dua tomatoes wo menim sanana na kwa akofodo ene MPP for ma draw word map no foforo e de dema ene akomadan akokose Ukraine ene Russia border no so am beto mon country yen arise ukoka yesi de ntia untimi to do kora ne boy de ne say Ukraine and Russia ntia me pato abroad in Ukraine oh mo mo me e bia me de minim me pato abroad we ye bia Ukraine Ghana for ade wa kwa na taji e bra ne ko school no eye gari pato fa gari mame anya shekura na ja na ba ku bia na papa fa no ropoto and ye hia okra so ho unya gari na na echiche kakra de wonu a wo de unya milk because o hia ni ene orun ka ba ko te sen na na ko fa no ba to me perose kro ana Ukraine kro a ye gari wo ho a na nti ama gari orun ka boye de na ko fa no me pa to me pese o ka che me efri 2018. Ana mo ka che se mabura wa Ghana nyoma ma adwuma ye. Na omo ye one say one factory. Ebi mu kura ka say factory ba kwa ne bo efo pom betima ya pa ye. Enkrama na bi o ba be no soro honom Upper West. Ato no e ba fa ka bo be obi am tiawo. Me pa to me pe kama na mato. E ba fa ba kabo. Me pe supermarket kwa and that say me wura honom a menya don't can beef ato. Me be bi ato. Na na akofo no meja so ya ya factory se ni adade. Ubuso am say ehimfa ana sani o mana musoma ye no supermarket be mu ne to no contribution of that to the GDP say ya omutimi kan show. Nada. And say nyame amwa na se wonim na akoto dokono timi nya 2 series 3 series but on say dokono no but say we 3 series o 3 series e jame boa so na 3 series eto sa de we a ene makotwie unu makotwie but omuni makotwie wa bom modin enya mako any jene crachi no akwakwe for the privilege because and then toss adaka e 12 million 1,200 Ghana cedis. Toss why any how 1,200 cedis adaka no. Na ni pa no ko foreign free commander their bank kind. At what price? And Obama Tony saying at one price. 80 and net makochie kra no is for the privilege. Na na do na kwa akufo ado. Without due respect. Who ka tell say who be planted no ma ye duane food. No ma ye duma for jobs. Me pacho wadaruma planting for food and jobs no e won kan ni ana e hon popoye ni nto so intimi nto e no popoye ani ene dokora yetimi nto ana. Arise, save Ghana now. Man tell me say arise, save Ghana now. And now you Ghana baby, you have to be angry because there's no future. On my woman sabi and that's so beauty baby and kufo be few sabi yeah mo fra to me ka bibia no from wadi e baby ni e to odorevem onipa no wo no ye che yes anya yampa and na you trap ball tax so and odorevem no sere da so yiri. Arise, save Ghana now. Arise, save Ghana now. Atosu bi o nya to ba sama mi wie kama sam kakra en kofo bi wa ban we mu ana me ka sa na akofo ado said the baby o ka say I am not corrupt and I have never been corrupt. Director of Communication at the Presidency. You join a bass one in the Yansem. You want Japadia no war and they know about what it. But I saw Anamewa. Nanako for Uno. I know who you get. I have not been corrupt. I will never be corrupt, but I know you. I told you. Thank you. And I'm not say Ghana. Yanka say quiet crano. Chafa. Arise! Save Ghana. I didn't hear that. Arise! Save Ghana. Arise! Save Ghana. Arise! Save Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, and I'll say, okay, so quick one. Yanko People's National Convention and National Women's Organizer, Hadia Ibrahim. A round of applause for her. Hadia.
Good afternoon to you all, and thank you for the opportunity. I feel energized and motivated as a woman to find myself before you at this maiden press encounter of Arise Ghana, an entirely different kind of group, all together committed and dedicated to advocating and pushing for the interest of the ordinary Ghanaian, especially the vulnerable in society, a greater proportion of whom are women and children. It's not in doubt that Ghanaians are feeling a lot of hardship today, occasioned by the maladministration and incompetence of the current regime, which promised so much in opposition but has delivered nothing, reducing governance to a rhetoric and sloganeering. As a sister, a mother, and an auntie, I can better relate to how much other women are feeling under excruciating hardship, pain, and hopelessness. The struggle to feed families, the hustle to provide shelter and pay for utilities has never been as difficult as witnessed today. The cost of providing all basic necessities is at an all-time high, and we are suffocating and choking. As such, we need to take action as a people, and Arise Ghana presents that opportunity for us to take our destiny into our own hands and stand up to demand for an improvement in our living conditions, which we have placed in the hands of the Akufo-Addo and his MPP government. I therefore call on all the women of Ghana to join this crusade being embarked upon by the Arise Ghana, so that with a loud and a collective voice, we can call out the president and his government to sit up and work in the sole interest of the people of Ghana, rather than seeking to satisfy their selfish, partisan, parochial, and self-seeking interests, as witnessed in the craze to amass wealth and property at the expense of the rest of us. Arise Ghana, save Ghana now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, we move on now to the camp of the New Patriotic Party. And ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's welcome Lord Nana Listowell.
Choboy. Arise. No kre eye baako pe. Kontompo dosu. Na kontompo nso o hyetew, wa hyetew oye kontompo. MPP yante se ye de bebo kro no. Enka me nyoin. MPP yante se ye de ba be ye hwewuti, hwewote. Yate se ye de ba be ye oman yie. Sabi obi ahu MPP abemu pen esan say wo ka watnim ka watia na ye wo gentle giant papa bi ya ne saso sabi ebi ma bio se bi beba agisa afeda obi ahu MPP wa abemu da ena sa wonam na do se si uboka so ya MPP ni ma na wani magu ase because wo ye kromfo wo ye balawo uye tutubotom ni uye ejapa ade hye kro no a ejapa obo ene so obi ka so ye MPP ni a na oye tutuani obi a odi awu esan se ene ade a Akufo-Addo ama aye typical in the MPP eye etutrasem na no meti ho no obi afre me se minyai party no na me se wahu landlord a wajani fie edi ama tuturani kromfo se esansa tuturani kromfo abenti no efi ne kure efie no mejai ohubida enunti ena maba o mampani kufo meba wanim ena awie sese na ya ka Akufo-Addo nkoni campaign message ene party no atete se kontebe aye time aye chese
awerɛho asefem sɛ sei na nkɔmampani kufoɔ bɔɔ ne berɛ a ɛnka kufoɔ do tumi bɛgyina bɛdwam sɛ yɛnto abama no ɛnnɛ hwan na bɛtumi me ankasa me wɔ falankyerɛmate me nua panim madeɛ nyinaa sɛ wobɛyɛ flag bearer ɛdeɛ na wakufoɔ do aban yi mu a wobɛtumi de wo nsa si wo bo aka sɛ wɔnti gyina so na to abama me baako pɛ sɛ anyɛ japa a ɛyɛ bust oil timi to fa wiem sɛ a evaporate excavator timi yira ɛnɛ sɛ John will wo yam pipi ni atie me ya bobɔ no me wɔfa no no me din nim kwabra bobi ansatia bobie wɔne sɛ John na kɔ nakra na ɛnam ne so ebre bi enka aka akwanhia kura ke kokuyen sɛ John ti ɛne ya bobɔ ne will no wo yam pipi ni na waso sɛbi wo yɛ mampam a bie waso nim na tie nyansa ya bɔ ne din ya trotro wudi wom sira kola wudi wom obi timi kɔtɔ your friends holiday in ne yere ye birthday wato wo de atena gift owa opposition no woni nam ka kwan mu na wo sresre 1 cedi o si donate for change ene wasesa na brabo asesa oya real udi ka ho enti suenyansa na bobo bra se aboa sabi your friend owo anani da ho o man pani kufo mi gina wani mu abia se sen ne ye party na kanya ene ene nyansafo ni nyina tifie kwabra japo tifie opafoko otifie just because wakoka se aden na mode party sika egro to pere otifie enti ye gina ha ma MPP omo be free mu no omo free mu ye de ye se free mu ye be do abo ho ban esan se ene minim se apapafo no mo ensamampom ni nyina omo su se ne ye amayoko na minyi ni se nka kufo do eko nya ho eko gina simpie so e bode Roma Ghana fo bai enu ti ye nuanom media mi gina ha ye se uhu anoma akura mento ne bo ebia na ofiri duduom enye menko at even a short notice se se ye oni 33 ya o ma bedru edan ya mu yo mo ya MPP fo me na mi gina o ma nem wo a wusuro awuni ya be pamu o mo afri party nim ama party na fa ne to ma pa afira ekoti ametene ya bobo di ni ya bobo we owura kofi kwa adu apreku kan na uti radio so TV so wo ya talking point no amamo ya koi ya criticize Rollins say Rollins wo ye tutrani wo ye say ene ekufodo obi betimi de ne sa tire me say ekufodo ade a wo ye no Rollins ene Rollins de eyepe entano journalist mi kasa wo ye journalist a wo kokasa wi a na waka ameswali wo yonku timi ko jan radio so di obi picture ko to TV so ni ade be tene wawu ye nche no ye nya ne hwe no ne nam enye hu te Rollins aban uka tell me say me ma me na kwa gina keje ti abone to ma ena ye muruma e wo man mu enu ni betimi bre no de na nyansa wom Rollins de na ye say ye betimi bre no enu ni akufo do mamwe de na nyansa wom etime kasa to MPP ni bia sa ugiri say ye party ni ye tuturafo party dia po akufo do abomu na mom sa wonyi ni say ye party ye ti ye ya antene say de baba di ewu ye de bebo kro no ama abusua won chani na me de yakɔwe aboa ene abosia na sɔre waka ne yenye party ni si wona Ghana emfa ne to mapamfra o mampani kufo wabobo anu ana medina for the etwato Ghana for say o silence no the loudest o mampani kufo yenim sebi okasa abababo nyansa. I call him the man of wisdom. What can one not to matter? They say a so chat where my eha nipa okama no tumcha no wanu eha o man panico for yes rew and yes say and our boy yen and yes say now yen eno tiri gina mo kasa nyina metu anya masim tras manima guase wo ye MPP ni a wo so hu se wanima guase pa eti ye besre enyansafo ne nkasa se ne ebu man ne so mampani kufo wadwen ya wo se ne ebu man dia ye tewase na se nya sei ene ebu man ene nya sei ene MPP tie na se ekoso na kwadwo mpiani mu aka wano atum ekoso afoko waka wano atum kwa breda pa waka wano atum enyansafo kofi kodwa preko waka wano atum a abenu ebeye den ebebom medamasi.
Thank you very much, Lord. Leads to Enyasafono. He said text messages no more yet. Let me at this point call upon Mensa Thompson, Executive Director, Emma Asepa. Round of applause.
Choboy, arise, arise, arise. Indeed, we are going to save this country. Wow, yo babunu bia uti mi ene. Ye beje o man yesi ho. Emre bia Ghana yakwa ahohia mu no. Emabunu sorry no ma je o man yesi ho. And it is written in history. From independence, abrofo kura ntimi eni yeso na eni Akufo-Addo. Over Africa ha Ghana yeni one of the first countries yetimi gi independence free abrofo nsem. It is because of the courage of young people of this country. And the mabunu no way. Young people of this country, where are you? I don't know, be share them. Ubi asro. Usro wan Akufo-Addo. Usro Akufo-Addo. No, you can't. These are cowards. Say you na kan ho ne sorry, ne etisi monten so a. Who is Akufo-Addo? And where their country here. Is this the gateway to Africa? Is it the country and only diplomacy din komo, only international donors din komo? Ubia lose interest to Ghana. Nobody wants to come to Ghana anymore. Is this the country that we create for ourselves? Now you're quiet daho Achimota Forest. Enya shimpo ma yempo no every afibiano ye nyesika free from international conservation organizations. On carbon credit. Free. We say me kwa koton. Uko kan o say oh me yi executive instrument no pen free oba menton. Na dok no wunni a yehwane ho. Wunni a yehwane ho. So warning and yes send them ubia. Why you say Timothy Forest assassin what to be and now be to no? Who knows what on for 2 years pet? What on 2 years pet? Because a dear be a basis to be a sabines san e be dregu. Most wa amato Ramsar site assassin bino so. Mo who is amato for 2 years pet. That place is a heritage site. Into what to be a what on for 2 years pet. Afeye Japan also. Ye kachire Akufo-Addo. You see, ye good year gold royalties na afibia maye. Last year, as at last year, $300 million a free gold royalties mu. Akufo-Addo say there be sa $300 million na ye nya na afibia no wompe. Yemma ne kwan no mfa sa royalties no. Enkosia wo wa enye bosia $500 million pe. No mbedi wodi wi a na ye good ye gold royalties nyina no ye de amankofo bi wa create company e friend Japa company
company now wakote no was say Ghana buy with 51% and minority shareholder 49%. Yebusa say na 51% in him say Ghana buy there. Now 49% in him for there was a menka. Him for there was a menka. Tell 49% you there was a menka. Afa we say one more mukuta 49% no. One more now the control of Japan no mineral royalties no company in Asho Monsa. But does it make any corporate governance sense? Say a minority shareholder is given overall control in perpetuity over a company. Now majority shareholder Ghana ban to what in say no. Minority shareholder no nekuta control. Try and confuse me minority shareholder so I was a mentre. We anya krono a wonye kronfo a wonye sa de we. You see, again, the final point I'm making is say the man Japan kwaye hu ni say gold a yen discover aye. Gold a yen discover aye ni nyina mo de share Japan nim. Gold a yen discover aye o. Enti ahemfo muti krom ha amaye din nananom muti krom ha amaye din gold etuma asase so mo makwa makufo de we di mu gold nyina akosi awowa mu gold a otire bi mpombe wo masase so nyina no mo say mo ma ho kwan mo ye din makama no atom nananom mo sorry empanyimfo okrom ha mo wai enyansafo okrom ha mo wai mo nyina madane ma Ekufuado wetima mo dane ma ekufuado moma yen sori ni yen keka ye ho yen ti ye ho si monten so na yen kire ekufuado se Ghana ye yakukudrofo ye nyehufo na ye nyema into on the 21st of June monke kamo ho e mano mo mebo adeja na montinta sukoko nkire aban monche muto asenkyere kufuado mo mani hunu se mo yakukudrofo mo ema no kwa mo yakukudrofo che kufuado kronfo na ye coward kronfo bia ye coward ema no keka mo ho che mo si monten so akufuado be se de bo ntimi mpie eti yesramo on the 21st of June arise Ghana ye tie ye hogu esi monten so ya ye kire kese Edi achire kufuado say Ghana for ye nyehufo ye yakukudrofo.
Thank you. Yeah, that's Mensa Thompson. Pretty surely we'll be taking questions from our friends from the media. But before then, let's have a quick message from the Concerned University Students Association. Raymond Tamaklo, please join us. Round of applause for Raymond and his team as they join us. Thank you.
Arise. Arise. Thank you very much. I am particularly humbled to be here, and I also have a strong responsibility and obligation as well. On the 10th of January 2022, lecturers across the various university campuses laid down their tools in what is to become a protracted UTAG industrial strike action due to the fact that government remained nonchalant and intransigent in alleviating their plight. This action led or posed so much inconveniences to university students, including economic, psychological, academic, and security constraints and inconveniences. This situation necessitated the formation of the Coalition of Concerned University Students. The Coalition of Concerned University Students, as part of so many efforts to ensure that government listens to the plight of students and that of our lecturers, embarked on a mammoth demonstration which forced the government to recommit itself to ensuring that teaching and learning activities were restored to our lecture halls. Since then, the coalition has become an amalgamation of various student activism groups across the various university campuses. And indeed, throughout history, the contribution of student activism to the development and democratization process of our country cannot be disputed, and indeed cannot be refuted. That is why we view this call as a clarion one. That is why the coalition will join any effort to ensure that our future is not mortgaged, to ensure that a group of self-serving individuals do not mortgage our future. Since the UTAC strike action, several issues continue to confront Ghanaian students. Paramount amongst them is the non-payment of student loans. If you may be aware, in recent times, some 6,000 students at KNUST were at the verge of being deferred because they were not able to pay their school fees. Now, the situation at KNUST only brought a limelight to the entire problem, because the fact of the matter is that students by the day continue to drop out of school because they have not been able to pay their fees. Students by the day continue to defer their courses because they are not, the student loan trust fund cannot fulfill its financial obligations to students. The Get Fund scholarship that also continually gives some level of financial relief to students to be able to pay their fees have been mortgaged by this government at the detriment of the future of young students of this country. The mortgaging of ESLA for some 20 to 30 years alone is not enough for this government. But because of that want to satisfy their political extravaganza, would go to the extent of mortgaging the Get Fund scholarship so that students are left, at the mercy of God or whoever is going to benevolently sponsor them through school. Apart from that, there have been several other issues that need to be addressed. And that, for me, include the situation of unemployment in this country. Now, it has been very clear to the government that Ghanaian students are not interested in the aesthetics. We are not interested in the theatrics. Neither are we interested in the antics. We want palpable and tangible solution to the issue of unemployment. When we speak about unemployment, they tell us NABCO. NABCO does not offer job sustainability. NABCO does not offer job security. And certainly, NABCO does not offer decent living or decent earning. Now, a World Bank report on unemployment in Ghana 2022 indicates that over 210,000 Ghanaian graduates go out of the education system yearly. That is not only because they are unskilled or semi-skilled, but also it is because there is not enough avenue to accommodate these numbers coming from our universities. And that is why we do not want knee-jerk reactions to the problem. We want real-time, tangible solutions. And so, I am glad to be here. And I, as a student of the University of Ghana, as I am sure every other student across this country is going to embrace this call wholesomely. And we are going to be part of any effort, any such effort that seeks to serve as a vanguard to prevent these cronies, this group of people from mortgaging our future, to prevent this group of people from desecrating the gains that have been consolidated over the years. We are going to be part of any such effort and movement in one confluence, in one energy, and in one spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank Thank you very much. What a better way to bring the array of speakers or speeches to somehow a close. But my colleagues from the media, if there are questions, I'm sure there are none, or there are questions. I see you years of Abu Woody. Please come. You mention your name and your station, and then you can put forth your question. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Peter Kwao Adato. I work with TV3. This gathering sound like a very good one. Looking at what we are all experiencing in the country currently. But gathering in this way, making the pronouncement, pointing out the issue alone does not seem like a force that can bring down the oak tree. There are examples everywhere. We know in this country we have tens of political parties, and we have seen them gathered here. Is this gathering thinking of something like what happened in Nigeria, where some parties come together in alliance to be able to defeat the government? Again, just recently, Kenya, the major opposition and the ruling party is now coming together against a group that they think does not have their future. Do you people do this arise Ghana,
Arise.
thinking of having a force that will move forward and have alliance with all the other parties, so that the divided factions will not break
Very well.
the goal? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I saw one other hand. I'm sure that's and certainly that will be the last person.
All right, thank you.
Your name and
my name is
else.
Randy Ahaji, and I work with Weasel TV. My question is, we have seen several pressure groups in the country. What makes Arise Ghana so different from the others? And then more particular about the message they have sent out today. To what extent are they ready to go? Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we'll be taking answers. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm Ketri Bedu. I work for Accra FM. My question is quite similar to my other colleagues. I want to know, because we are talking about a demonstration purported for 21st of July. June. We've seen several demonstrations, which is aimed at getting to a solution for a particular instance of some nature. I want to know, what form is this demonstration going to take? What structure? What are we going to see at the end of the day? Is it going to bring an end to what you are seeking for?
All right. I'm sure most of you are looking for the end game. Let me bring in Salom Bahi. We'll be answering most of your questions. Salom, over to you.
Arise. Arise. Thank you very much, and thanks for your questions. It is pretty simple that we have seen demonstrations in the past. I have started participating in demonstrations since 2004 till date. If there will be any demonstrations at all, these demonstrations will definitely be different from the ones we have seen in the past. This will be like what we have christened as organized, universal pressure to bear on this criminal administration. I know some people, sometimes when you describe the administration as criminal, they are not comfortable. But this is a kleptocrat. And kleptocrat as a synonym is criminal. It's a criminal administration, and they must be called as such. A government that has no conscience, a government that is so insensitive to the plight of the people, and who takes comfort in luxury. They enjoy luxury at the expense of the suffering masses. That government, definitely, we shouldn't be employing euphemism. we should call a spade a spade. That what we have today is not even an administration. It's a regime. This is a regime. And we must deploy the tools to fight the regime. We have dedicated ourselves to fighting this regime even at the peril of our lives. So, Arise Ghana will definitely be communicating the strategies we have in the coming days. So just keep your fingers crossed. Thank you very much.
Arise. 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 All too soon we've come to an end of what I've already christened history in the making, and just as indicated, an array of events will be announced so you would know, because I can see from the faces of my colleagues, especially my colleague from TV3, that what's the end game. I mean, we've seen demonstrations before. To what end? And that's what Salomaf indicated, that look, the end game will be the array of events that we are going to be announcing subsequently. So watch out for that. How different it is, you will see it on the streets of Accra. You will see it on the of Kumasi. You will see it across the length and breadth of Ghana. Amen. So we're ending with a thank you to all of you, those of you that listen to us online, those of you that watched us on TV, Wazer TV, TV XYZ, Joy News or Multi TV, GH1 TV, UTV. We're so grateful to all of you. Class FM, Accra FM, Power 97.9 FM, Ahoto FM, Radio Gold. Thank you all, and thank you to all of you here as well. Until then, we say goodbye. Arise!
Thank you.